If you answer yes to these 9 questions, then I think you're ready to retire abroad or maybe in Thailand. The first question is, if you feel unsafe in your own country. I think a lot of people feel unsafe, especially in America, in the UK, especially when you're going out at night. There's a lot of crime in these places. And I think coming abroad to maybe a safe place like Thailand, it really puts you at ease, being able to walk around late at night. I know where I'm from in Stoke-on-Trent, if you walk around late at night, it's a bit of a nightmare at like 11, 12 o'clock at night. But over abroad in Thailand, safety is not an issue. You can walk around, there's not really any problems. You're not scared to walk around alone, females or males at this time of night, and have no problems. I've been living over in Thailand for 15 years and I've never seen any problems when I've been out at night. People actually go out their way to help you at night if you've got a problem, to get home, give you a lift home on the motorbike, and they try and help you out as best as they can. I think this is to do with the Thai people being fantastic and super friendly and really wanting to help foreigners in Thailand. The second question is if you're feeling fed up with the high cost of living in your own country. I know if you come from the West, Australia, America, the UK, prices have gone up dramatically over the last 5-10 years. And, people are beginning to really struggle. I've just been back to the UK and, some of the guys there, some of my friends and family, are struggling with the bills. The bills are very, very high. Council tax, electric bill, gas bill, these things, are very expensive in the UK now. So, cost of living is gone through the roof, I think, in these countries. So coming over to a place abroad, not just Thailand, but other places like Vietnam, Philippines, all different countries around the world are definitely cheaper than the UK, Australia, America. These countries, which are probably some of the highest cost of living in the world. So escaping to somewhere like Thailand is a great idea. And, coming over here at a later age, if you're on a pension, your pension is going to go a lot further in a place like Thailand. The third question, I know it used to annoy me when I used to live in England, is, getting a doctor's appointment. This is a real hassle. Even in the UK, we have the NHS, which I don't want to slate it. It is really good. It's free health insurance. Well, it's not free. We have to, pay tax, which goes towards it. But I think, having to wait a long time for an appointment is really annoying. And if you come out to somewhere like Thailand, you can have health insurance. Yes, it's private. It costs money. But so does it in America. A lot of people in America have private health insurance. So it's the same as there, really. And obviously the quality of care is private. And they've got some world-class hospitals in Bangkok, around Thailand, international hospitals like Bangkok International Hospital, which is all around the country. And they've got one of the best hospitals in Asia, Bumrungrad, which is based in Bangkok, to use if you were living there. Number 4 is really personal to me, is a crappy climate. I'm from Stoke-on-Trent, if I haven't said already. And in Stoke-on-Trent, the weather is awful. I spent 36 years there before I actually left. And the weather does really get you down. It is similar to Manchester if you live there, or Liverpool. It's just rain, rain, rain. Not much sunshine at all. You're lucky if you get 1 week of sunshine a year, and that's being generous. That's a bit of a joke. We do get a bit more than that. But summers are sometimes just rainy. It really does depend year to year. There's nothing guaranteed about the weather in England or the area where I'm from, Stoke-on-Trent. So this was a massive factor in me leaving the country. And it might be for you. I don't know where you're from. Everyone's from different areas, but especially if you're from the UK, climate's going to be a massive one. And you can choose different areas to suit you. If you don't like somewhere very, very hot, maybe choose the north of Thailand, or choose somewhere in Spain, somewhere different to retire, where the climate's a little bit cooler than Thailand at certain times of year. Number 5 is the single guys. I think, there's a big problem with guys when you get to 35 to 40, you're in the UK, America, Australia. I think you guys have a real problem getting a girlfriend after this age. Or if you got divorced, you've got a couple of kids, your marriage is broken down. I think, Asia in general, there's just more available women who are looking for a relationship in Asia than there would be in the West. And they look at different things. They don't just go on looks, they go on the whole package, which they do in the West as well, a little bit, but I think more so on, looks more in the West. So if you're single guy, or you're recently divorced, or bereavement, or whatever, you know, Asia in general and Thailand is a great place to come to meet a future partner, a proper girlfriend. I'm not talking about a fling. We're talking about finding a life partner and getting married out here, which is exactly what I've done in Thailand. Number 6, do you feel mentally prepared to leave your own country? I think you do need to be mentally prepared to leave your career and then start a new chapter in your life. You know, it is difficult leaving a job, especially if you've been in that job for like 20, 30, 40 years. The crowd of people you've been hanging around with is like your solid foundation. You're kind of, you are, if you're a teacher, you are a teacher. If you're a doctor, you are a doctor. You're hanging around with all them different people. And then coming across to, you know, are you actually ready to leave that environment? If you're not, then don't come living abroad. You know, make sure you're emotionally ready to, you know, start afresh, start a new chapter in a new country. Oh, excuse me guys, can you just press the red button, thanks? The red subscribe button, it really helps the channel, helps me to grow to 10,000 subs before Christmas. Thanks a lot. Okay, I'm back to the video. Number 7, are you comfortable being away from your friends and family for long periods of time? Because this is really, really important. You know, choose a country that is not too far away from your friends and family if this is what you want, if you want to see them regularly. Because for me, my family and friends are all in the UK and I live in Thailand. So I am a long way, I'm 11.5-hour flight away from the UK. And being realistically, that is really expensive. You know, now flights have gone through the roof, as you probably know. You know, you can't go back to England. You know, I normally try and go back once a year now, and I have to take my family now because I have a family out here. I'm married and I have 2 kids. So this is a massive issue. If you're coming abroad to somewhere to retire abroad, think about, you know, how important are your family? Yes, they should be important, but you know, are you okay not seeing them for 6, 12 months? If this is an issue, then you know, you really need to think hard and long about where you're going to retire to. Number 8, do you have a plan for healthcare when you come abroad? So if you're coming to a place like Thailand to retire, you know, have you got a healthcare plan? Have you got a budget and a healthcare plan for Thailand? You know, health insurance can be expensive when you get older in any country around the world. So you need to budget for this and how much you're going to have per pension if you're coming here to retire, not as an expat. You know, how much per pension are you going to have living out somewhere like Thailand? And if you're an expat wanting to move abroad or a digital nomad, then you know how you're going to make money online. You've got to think about this before you move abroad. Don't just move abroad without a decent plan in place. And number 9, if flip-flops are your dress code, then you need to move over to Thailand because we wear flip-flops over in Thailand all the time. So if you answered yes to all these questions, you're definitely ready to retire abroad somewhere around the world. Okay, thanks for listening today, and I'll see you on the next video. Take it easy.